There we have theme music now. What's going on, everybody?
Wow.
Welcome to I'm Not Supposed to Be Here. And I am one of your hosts, Trent L. Dixon. I'm here with
Lucas MG.
and also,
Christian and Eclectic Sage.
and we also have a special guest today.
Guest today.
Wow, first guest.
Hello, I'm Amalia.
Hey, welcome.
Got it.
All right.
Wow, that beat is awfully soothing for the nighttime.
Right?
We're not in our usual studio space right now. We're coming, I guess, live at the moment from Brooklyn, New York.
Yo, Nula. Shout out Nula.
Shout out
Some
Nula.
big windows,
Yes.
and again, it's fitting with the nighttime. Our new intro music, which I've never heard. Have you?
I
Christian?
have never
Yeah,
heard
we
it.
listened
so-
to it last time.
No,
Remember?
No, it
well,
didn't work. It didn't
No, I
work.
remember, but I still played it over the phone.
Oh, but
I
it,
feel-
it was,
okay, like,
it was
then
just
you
like
freestyle.
You freestyled a little bit.
I did
Typical
freestyle a little bit.
Christian
How long does it
manner.
go?
It goes on a while. Lucas is calling for it.
He's like, I heard enough.
No, I didn't know if it phases out. Trent, for our listeners, is our audio technician. I know literally nothing. he just gave the parentheses or quotation.
The air quotes.
I
air
do what I
quotes.
can, and sometimes it's not enough. But you know,
That's
we're
so
here.
real.
And guys, welcome to I'm Not Supposed to Be Here, the podcast about whatever the hell we want it to be about.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing today? How's everybody's?
we just came from the
Doing
beach.
all right.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you had a little.
A little beach. I
You had
didn't
a
have
little
like sand in
adventure.
my feet right now.
And the Hawaiian shirt on.
Yeah, Hawaiian shirt,
With
smelling
the
like beach
sandals.
water.
Got sand in places that shouldn't be.
It happened.
all the crap.
Inevitable.
All the crap.
You know, I go to the beach with nothing too. Like I probably should get something. Like I don't have a towel. I just lay in the sand.
just wow.
Like just straight. Usually a bag.
Yeah.
But like other than that, like I literally go. Get off the train. I just lay there in the sand.
Do you
That's
have
it.
beaches in Texas?
Of course. Well, I guess the
Yeah, we
third
do.
coast.
You're from
But
Texas.
Yeah, that's
I
what
am.
it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. But he and I.
But it's
trying
not.
to,
It's not like you.
Yeah,
You have
like
to travel.
I mean, you just
Ew,
find
yeah,
the sand
it's
in the
not good.
desert if you need.
pretty much. But that's sick. I'm surprised it wasn't insane as nice it was today. You said it wasn't that packed. At the
It
beach?
wasn't that
wasn't.
packed, but given at the time of recording, everybody I guess was beached out because it was Labor Day, so everybody went Monday.
Facts,
It's like a random Wednesday.
Packed Monday.
Oof.
Packed.
Yeah, that's seriously a
Packed.
brave move going to any sought after public space on Labor Day too,
Yeah,
right?
on
That's
Labor
like
Day.
when
I couldn't
everybody's
even
off.
find yeah, he didn't come with me. I went by myself.
Oh,
Like, I had
wow,
to
that's even
squeeze
more
in and
brave.
Find a space, and it was just a lot of people.
My goodness, I believe it. But well, that sounds pretty nice. I was at work all
Yeah.
day personally. Trent and I actually had this discussion already. We were sitting outside for a good hour. I guess
Yeah,
commute was crazy
Yeah, I
on the
was
way
running
here.
crazy late.
Shout out Amalia and Christian.
Yeah.
But no,
Sorry about
so
that.
we all good. Yeah, I mean Trent and I have been over it. I've been doing well. I notice when people are like, "Hey, how's it going?" I'm like, I can sometimes just spill, just let it free flow out of the dome. But yeah, I don't know. I've been busy lately. Maybe some career move changes, which is like
tell us
I've
what you can.
I've been with the North Face for like upwards of like 5+ years. So it's
Yeah.
like it's definitely the longest I've ever had a job. I'm revealing all the deets on wax here. But it's true. It's where I'm at right now. So yeah, I've been, I don't know, just making, again, I feel like I'm being redundant, but only Trent and I spoke about this. But lately I've just been noticing how many decisions you have to make in life, just nonstop.
Yeah.
There's nonstop, like, which
Choices every
alter
day.
obviously the way that you go. And some are bigger than others, and some align simultaneously with other big decisions, you know?
A lot of butterfly
And-
effect stuff.
Yeah,
'Cause, like,
yeah. I literally thought about that this morning. Like, if I do something else, then that could completely affect who I run into on my walk to work. You know what I mean? Or yeah, and ultimately butterfly effects. Yeah, it's so
Yeah, I mean,
That's funny. I was just thinking about that the other day.
really to
Yeah.
what degree or like
Just
about
like
what?
a lot of the decisions, like you just said, a lot of the decisions that you make can change your life either for the better or for the good.
Mm.
So it's like really important about like who you have in your space. We met each other in like April. It ties into the story, but like
Y'all too?
we met
Okay.
each other in, like at an
It was-
event.
So I was taking pictures at an event. It was an underground party, so I won't reveal too much. But
Whoa.
it was at Loft 451. So I just was doing homework because I was in the middle of semester, and I just happened to sit in the Starbucks because I showed up 2 hours early. Unlike today, the opposite today.
We could have used one of those hours today.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
We could have used 30 minutes.
But
Oh man. But
okay, I didn't know y'all knew each other since April.
yeah.
That's sick.
Well, we met, but like he's been trying to like hang out, but I was in the space to hang out, so
Understand.
I kind of like
Right.
wasn't
Yeah, you're not like,
attentive and stuff.
absolutely. Yeah, I
and
feel
then
that,
we just
yeah.
wound up just I don't even know how it started.
No, I was just like, I was going to the movies with my friend Dan. Shout out Dan, the
Shout
man
out
who
Dan.
can.
I almost
Sup, Dan?
I almost just said his
the
last
whole
name and
gummy.
everything. You mean who's employed it?
Oh, wait, I wasn't ready. My bad.
Well, you have to
Okay, wait. You mean Dan?
I'm still not.
Oh wait, shit.
we give it just
I like
the soundboard. Go
alley
ahead, go
myself. and-
Yeah, nah.
Okay, you ready?
Rewind.
Do you mean Dan who works at Damn, well, we tried. We got the first half.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I'm gonna have to rearrange these buttons.
But
so
wait,
they're
no. What
all
about
on the
Dan
same.
at the movies?
So shout out to him. He got me like a AMC pass thing as like a birthday gift. And then like I was just going to the movies, and then I was just like, "Hey, do you want to come out?"
Oh,
and she was just like, "Yeah, let's go."
Sick.
And then, yeah, we've been hanging out since.
Yeah. Do we got some technical difficulties here?
Oh no.
But yeah, no, Amalia. It's it is helpful to remember your name. I'm not gonna lie. That was helpful. But you were speaking about the butterfly effect of things and how that what you were thinking about it lately. If I
Repeat that again, please.
when you were talking about how you were thinking about butterfly effects lately.
Yeah, just like I was going through a lot of stuff, and prior before like hanging out with him, I was dealing with someone, and you think that like they're meant to be in your life, things like that. But then like things start going downhill, and I can feel when like a shift is coming. It's kind of weird, and ever since just meeting him, like I've been feeling way more optimistic. And like he's been really helpful. Like he's just a person that I feel like I need in my life. Like I don't get any ill intent from him at all. Like I don't have to overthink with him or anything. So
Yeah.
that's a really good song.
Yeah, that's a beautiful way to put it. Yeah.
Yo, for being a great
That made the episode. No, that's
I couldn't agree more. I'll summarize as such. Yeah. Christian's
but
very beautiful.
I mean, we
individual.
alluded to, in terms of like the themes of like I'm not supposed to be here, and like I guess the foundation of it came from this, in my opinion, like a butterfly effect of kind of taking just small instances and like, hey, you should meet Trent, met Trent. Hey, you should go to this museum, went to the museum. Hey, we went to this thing. That lineage of events led to like all the current moments and all the current experiences to, I keep on like giving shout outs, but in the meantime, like Trent was doing like a lot of photo walks and everything. And I was just like, that's so awesome. Like that inspires me to keep on doing stuff that I want to do. And that kind of inspiration from each other and just like knowing each other. And like I said in one of the other episodes, I was like, Trent is my favorite person I met all year. I'm not going to hold you.
I don't remember that quote.
I'm
That's
not
exciting.
going to hold you.
Much
No,
appreciated.
no, because I just,
That's a huge honor.
yeah,
That
it's
is. That is.
just a
Should I
just
make
a
a
very
speech?
genuine. Yeah. Can I get a toast? No, but just another genuine soul that's just like, yeah, just constantly is looking to go to a space and just brighten the space and try to make it so that you create an environment where you foster the most positive experience and something that you could take away for your soul. Not something like you can take away in terms of monetary gain, in terms of this thing, just like something that is just like, hey, this is a memory that will become a core memory. And I was just be like, damn, this is like consistent, and it's a consistent and an intentional effort from your part that I just see, and I'm just like, I'm observing it because even when I went to with like Jules from the X, he was just like, Trent's so fire. He was like, Trent's so fire. Every time I'm just like, yeah, and it's so cool because I'm doing like I'm trying to work on like other projects and working on music and stuff, and yeah, it's been cool just seeing the butterfly effects of just introducing friends to friends. And how that kind of blossoms into their own
so
natural
many dope
relationships.
people are like coming out of these things. Like I was telling Lucas earlier, like we're meeting so many people on these photo walks because they'll see a group of people with cameras. Like, what are you guys doing? Like I just met like a traveling YouTuber.
Wow.
It was so dope.
That's
What's
so
him in
fun.
the picture? I'm just putting two and two together.
Mo?
He showed me the picture from yesterday.
Oh yeah.
And I'm putting it together now.
Yeah, I was wearing
My
a corduroy.
Shout out to Mo.
That hot
90
outfit.
degree day,
Please.
corduroy, head to toe.
First thing
Whoa,
Quay said to us,
head
like, you
to
gotta
toe
be
corduroy.
naked.
Wow.
All right, but
It gave a very 90s R&B vibe though.
right. Somebody said I look like Keith Sweat. I was so happy. I was like, this is fire. Because I got
Emphasis on the sweat.
emphasis on
Yeah,
this
quite
one.
literally.
Hot that day.
Yeah. But the topic of our episode, since we're talking about,
Before
hold
we
on.
get into that, we gotta celebrate a couple of things because we've been, outside of the podcast, we've all been doing things. You've got the Project Apparitions going.
Whoa,
which is
yeah. Keep it up.
fucking
It's
amazing.
gaining
Like,
momentum.
I'm excited for that.
You guys are pumping me up.
The homie Quay and I, if you haven't checked out this podcast, check it out.
Yes.
Imposter Syndrome.
Whoa.
It's a fucking phenomenal podcast. We
Nice
started
guess, nice
a
guess.
photography club, and that's where sort of the photo walks have gone into. We've also got other things coming. We'll talk about that later. But also, we want to celebrate the release of my man's single.
Oh, you put it on the
Yes.
soundboard?
Yes.
No
Just have to
way.
say, you're
Yo.
already dead. Go cop that. Go
What?
listen to it all streaming
Please.
platforms. My man.
I'm crying. You're going to let it hold it?
I'm fucking proud of you, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I had to.
So many walking zombies, guess I call it detonation. Explain my verses so bomb like incoming invasion. This that verbal drone strike. Rappers says become kamikaze when they go up after I mean, you see the type of timing that I be on. You know, speaking of butterfly effects, this song itself was a butterfly effect. Butterfly effect. And
Flat.
No, let's own it. That's the new phrase.
The new
Butterfly
phrase?
effect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like it.
But yeah, so this
How so?
song was originally from Jules from the X. I usually collaborate with him, and even our meeting was a butterfly effect. So we went to the same school, and at the time we didn't really talk to each other because he was a grade ahead of me, but we're the same age because he skipped a grade because he's just real smart.
Super smart.
Yeah, he's just super smart, but he just be like, nah. Like if you know him in person, he'd be like, that's like a 5 out of 10. But yeah, in his high school days, he used to drop and make instrumentals almost every day, like on some Kanye level stuff. Like he has like, if you find the link, I won't expose it, so because low-key is my like little treasure trove. But he has like a bunch of instrumentals that he just used to make every day, almost. Wow. And he has like, he dropped like 4 beat tapes, and I just happened. He showed it to me one time. I was just like, what the heck? And I was digging through his old SoundCloud, and I found that one. And at the time, I had lost my dog had passed away. So I was dealing with a lot at the time, and I was just like, how do I articulate that in a song? And then I was just like, I want to encapsulate the bravado of the song, but then I also wanted to be like a parent that like I'm going through stuff, and it's not usually my aggressive, like I'm usually not an aggressive person, or like it wasn't even an aggressive song, and it was just like maybe I just want to express these feelings and just kind of let them go. So it was kind of just a throwaway song that I did to hit one of his old beats. I happened to go to a friend's studio session. I had extra time. So that butterfly effect of going to his studio session gave me the opportunity to record it as extra time. And then, yeah, so it was just a lot of weird. This song has been like recorded for like, this song is currently 2023 as a recording. The song was like 2021.
Really?
Or
the
not
one he
2020.
just played?
No, 2022. Like
Okay.
or like late 2022. It was within like December or something. So it was
So like, okay.
yeah, it was like just the beginning of the year, but a lot of it was kind of just held back, and I was just like, wow, this is a really cool thing. And back to the point, he thought that was a throwaway beat. He was just like, I don't want it, but ended up finding somebody and
pulled it
ended
out
up,
the treasure trove.
right, and it ended up
Repurposed.
being my second song that I ever released.
Nice.
heavy. What's the first one?
Visions. Visions. That's
okay.
Visions. Yeah, be like water, my friend, my armament there to defend from auto critique, mistaking my cool demeanor for the visa. Wanna swipe the credit for me, wanna claim friends, but they just frauds. They leap with faith, they leap like frogs. They wanna jump ship and then take off because they offset by my perseverance. I put my heart and soul into these lyrics. They see my name and all they wanna do is try to smear it. Still, I spearhead my movement, my spirit still improving. Already know my skills have been proven. Pen movement, curse, it's talking loops around static. Is all I caught up in my circuit, shorted, breaker overloaded. You better take notice. I put my entire essence in the words that I'm wrote. So that was
Wow.
like, that was when I looked into music and I was just like, you know, I just got to prove myself as a thing. And now I kind of just make music and now I'm just like, you got to put the emotion and soul into it.
Definitely.
And it's a completely different approach. Like I know I could rap, like I know I could do it, and it's not really like a proving thing. Now it's just like, can I make the best song?
Yeah,
can I make somebody feel something?
It's more focused on
Yeah.
actually
And-
making actual songs than just spitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that one, even that one is just like, it's very stilted, and this one was kind of stilted too in terms. But I like the flow switch. Where's the lever at? So I was sort of getting it, but like with the new project and stuff, I was like, yeah, I'm starting to like feel the emotions, like trying to be more vulnerable and be more honest in the music. Rather than hiding behind the bravado of the music. So like you could put bravado in the music, but also have the self-awareness, but you could put the feeling into it too. So I appreciate you even putting that up. I was not even going to talk about it, to be honest.
I was. No, but even you saying that, like I was telling you the other day, my favorite part of the song is like you say something really hard and you're like, yo, that's just the grief talking. Like that's such a self-aware thing. And I love that. That shit is so real.
Yeah, I was like, it was a part. It was just like, paid the funeral expense of my dog, expletive. So to pick you off is free of cost if you want the smoke. But that's the grief talking. It's the recent losses. Maybe reason I be spitting like the car exhaust does.
Right?
That's fire.
right?
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
Yo,
Okay,
I
now
love
I gotta
that.
definitely.
I love that.
Yeah,
Wow.
I love writing. Like before I'm a musician, I'm a writer first. I'm a writer first.
You guys should hear him. Whenever I'm playing like a song, I'm thinking he's trying to sing the lyrics, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he's over there freestyling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, like he does this at any time." And I'm like, "Oh, go ahead, like do you?"
Yeah. No, I was talking to a friend about you. I was like, yo, y'all should meet because he's the same. It's like a musical encyclopedia. I was like, y'all should. I think y'all were in the same spot during one of the photo walks.
Probably.
At the same time, probably. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I've always said you were the person that really shed light into the importance of songwriting.
yeah.
For sure. Because I mean, whenever we worked together, he would just, oh, well, if you really listen here, like what, and like shed light into the not only the perspective but like the style and the kind of uncover or like the emotion that can be tucked away under like the cadence or beat or whatever,
Yeah, I feel like
And
I
you've
feel
always
like a
made me,
lot of artists do
or
that.
since then you've made me pay a lot more attention to lyrics, and also like for songwriting, you really have to have something to talk about. Like if you live a boring ass life, you can't even write a song because like what are you gonna do? I don't know, and that's something I've thought about recently, and I mean this is a silly statement, but like Drake, he's been like having the most lyrical content, I guess like on that large scale, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And also to have like content like topically that again you can talk about for over a decade. That's a lot of stuff to say, from love to loss to everything, being on top of the world and so forth. And
If
I mean
you ever
every
try to-
artist.
if you ever try to write a song, a minute is a lot of space. So if you
Seriously,
see a
yeah.
5-minute song, they put a lot of
A
work.
lot of
Even if
words,
there's
yeah.
a space, they're not even speaking. There's a lot going on and there's a lot of intention because it's like trying to fill up a 100-foot canvas and you're just like, where do I even begin?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to
Yeah.
add on. Oh, I'm sorry.
you're
Just
good,
to add on. That's like we were talking like today. He wants me to freestyle. I'm really big into music.
Yeah.
And so I have like a really good ear and all that stuff. And I'm really artistic. I grew up like writing poetry, all those things, songs, singing, everything. And he'd be like, "Oh, just spit." And I'm like, "Bro, I can't just spit. Like I've gone through stuff, but I don't know how to put it into words. Like I can't just. I have to write it down and like really think." So
For sure, yeah.
That's really
Yeah. I've definitely been put on the spot too, even in yeah, far
I feel
less
like you can
serious
spit on the
circumstances.
skateboard.
Yeah, Lucas
Sure,
spits
I'll
right now.
spit in other methods of spitting. But I mean, yeah, to be able to on the spot at that very second be able to just become an immediate wordsmith is, I mean, yeah, it's definitely
That's
It's an art
tough.
all on
Yeah.
its own.
I didn't know how to freestyle at first. Actually, Jules taught me how to freestyle. I'm not gonna lie, because I used to go over there and he'll be like talking about like Sweet Life on Deck, like he'll put that in a bar and I'll just be like laughing. I'll be like, how'd you even like think of something like that on the fly? And I was just like, I have to learn how to do that because I'm writing first, so I just keep on writing. So I'm like, how is he just like talking on the so freestyling is kind of just like rambling, and then if you just sometimes you just reuse a lot of stuff that you end up writing and stuff, and then sometimes people have writtens. So like some people do like the 5 fingers or death for challenge or whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff is written, but even then, have you ever seen Black Thoughts freestyle?
Yes.
That is a freestyle.
was that like a while
master
ago?
class on
Yeah.
freestyle.
yeah,
That was a while ago,
Was
but
that Sway?
Yeah,
Or
that
no?
was,
It was
no,
Sway?
That
No.
was that Sway? No, it wasn't Sway. It was Funk Flex.
Yeah.
Funk Master.
But
okay,
whenever
okay.
he freestyles, I don't even know if that's written. I can't even say that's written. I think
think
that's just like written from the
He's
soul.
just done it for so long.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That it's- yeah.
Yeah.
It's like walking.
Shout out to
the
the roots.
Shouts out to the roots.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yes. Moving forward, I'm sorry. Before I interrupted you,
Yeah, no, you're good.
you were gonna introduce today's subject.
Oh yes. So today's subject is elementary school. I know we're talking
Little
about
left field there, but it's true, and it's a topic that we've been throwing around for quite some time, or at least I've been interested in it. And again, I mean, we all were children, and I mean, we all went to school. So
Yeah.
I guess unless you went or you were homeschooled, maybe then
But
you
I'm sure
wouldn't
you've
have
had some
that.
stories too.
Yeah,
About
homeschool
homeschool.
story.
If you were homeschooled, I was definitely not homeschooled.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I was definitely kicked into the public school.
Thrown
But
to
like,
the wolves.
man, you got to really earn your stripes. I feel as a human being, like, and
Yeah, like imagine
like among your peers at that young age, and y'all all like develop together, and
oh man.
yeah, just everything.
Just coming into the world and the first thing they throw you in elementary school.
yeah,
Go get him, kiddo.
yeah,
just like-
literally, yeah. Let's
Oh,
set
man.
you up for that.
What's the first thing you guys think of when you think of?
I definitely
Oh.
cried the first day of kindergarten.
Really?
Yeah, I
Wow.
actually like. I don't remember like walking in and oh wow, this is that, but I do remember being like, damn, you telling me this is it? Like, in
you get a nap time, though?
I don't think so. I think that ended in preschool, didn't it?
Yeah, but like I don't know. I think my class got like one nap
Maybe
time.
I don't know, but I do
Yeah,
remember
it's been so long
distinctly. Crying. And that was that. She was cool. I remember her name was Mrs. Maddox.
Mrs. Maddox.
That was her name.
Shout
I'm
out to-
doxing her.
Yeah, shout out to Mrs. Maddox.
Yeah.
But that was actually like when I just moved to Texas. So I mean, you don't really register locations as a kid, you know. So I was
Yeah.
just like, it could have been anywhere for that matter.
I was gonna say, why were you crying though? Like, what was
Just like
what
that,
Was, what were you
like
feeling?
reality of like being separated from people that you know. I guess arguably up until that point, you've never not been around those people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much, or whoever your guardians are.
Pretty
or-
much, but maybe like extended family, but like not too far.
Yeah. So I
family.
think that was just a pretty jarring experience for a, I don't know, we'll say what, 5, 6 year old. How old are you in
Yeah.
kindergarten?
Yeah, I think it's like 4 or
But
5,
that's
something like
that's my just like off rip, not
Immediately.
thinking. What about y'all?
I was gonna say, first experience with elementary school. I went to a Greek Orthodox elementary school at first.
What does that even
Which-
mean?
So,
Right.
so like,
that.
okay.
Thank you, Lucas. I was wondering the same.
So you have two branches of well, you have multiple branches of Catholicism. So you have back to like when, like, ancient times, you had the Roman Empire, and then it kind of split into two empires. You had Byzantium, and then you had the other one. I'm mixing it up, but then basically they had their own kind of Cyrillic alphabet, all that, and that's like Greek Orthodox. They don't put icons in their stuff. They don't put that, like, it's just a different form of Christianity. And then you had like the kind of Roman Catholic type of thing. That's why they say
Is that
Roman-
more classical
yeah, more
so to
classical.
speak?
You kind of see like
Catholicism? Okay.
yeah, that's the one that you see like, oh, big steeple and a thing.
Okay.
And then after that, you have like different you have another schism in like the Middle Ages, which is like a lot of you have a schism in the Middle Ages, and then that causes a lot of like Baptist churches and stuff.
So fast forward 2008. That's when I'm gonna guess you were in elementary school.
Maybe
What is it? Greek. I said Greek. What does a Greek Orthodox elementary school look like?
My brain.
I don't even. I kind of just remember there just being like a huge hallway because it was like a mixed media church too, and that was my thing.
You say
Yeah,
mixed media church?
yeah, because I feel like it was
Those
more
were
than one.
so
That's
building.
a lot going on.
Yeah, I feel because also it was in Washington Heights, and that's why.
Okay.
So I was in Washington
Oh, that
Heights.
clarifies things.
Yeah, so it was a little jumbled over there. It was a little jumbled over
Yeah.
there. But
Okay. How long did you go there?
not for too long because I transferred to. I went to the Bronx, so then I went to in second grade. That was like the
I
coolest-
transferred to second grade too.
Yeah, so second grade was like where I kind of remembered stuff because I was just like, oh yeah, this is like my school from second to
Okay.
eighth.
Where you have like cognitive idea of I'm in
Yeah.
school and these are my friends.
And then I had it was so cool because shout out to Mrs. Bogart, but she had the same name as the street that we're on.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
so I was just
all
like,
of us jump. Wait a second.
yeah. So she had the same last name as the street, and it was just so comforting because a lot of stuff at the time was like changing. It was like I moved to a new school, I'm in a new borough, I'm in a new thing. I have like nothing stable, so I was just like, oh
that
wow,
makes sense.
I was
Yeah.
like, that makes sense. The teacher works on the same block as her name, so yeah.
Wow. Okay. Amalia, how about you?
What about you?
Grew up in New York, right?
Yes, I grew up
Okay.
in
What
Harlem.
borough?
Harlem, Spanish
okay.
Harlem.
Shouts out to
Spanish Harlem.
Yeah,
Big
Harlem
shout
all
outs
the
to
way.
Harlem. Let's
Big
hear it for
Harlem.
Harlem, eh?
Harlem World.
Let's hear it for Harlem, eh?
Yeah, let's give it up for Harlem.
All right.
Period.
So Spanish Harlem.
So I went to Vito Marcantonio. It's
Okay.
like literally right downstairs from my school.
Okay.
I am never an early person.
Okay.
I'm always late. I was
wait.
right
You
there.
live
I kid you
downstairs
not.
essentially?
Huh?
You said you live downstairs at the elementary school?
My building's right here. The school I leave outside. The school's right there. It doesn't
wow.
cross the street. It's right there on the same block.
And still late.
I was always late.
Even as
I
a
just
kid.
hated school.
Oh wow.
In
okay.
elementary?
I just
In elementary school
God.
too?
And
Oh,
I just hate.
no.
I grew up. I always had anxiety, so like I always got picked on. That's my biggest like
okay.
memory from like
Man,
school.
that should definitely be a
Yeah.
prominent. Let's all pass out. The bullying.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Just like
Yes.
just being like picked. Are we like talking about like bad times or like good times? Like,
Everything,
both?
whatever you
Okay,
think, yeah.
cool.
Whatever you wanna-
Yeah, I got picked
Whatever you feel
on.
like sharing.
I got
to
picked
like
on.
the general public.
You know, for being black and
Okay.
then having
What
like
was
black
the
features and stuff
Main
like that.
demographic at that school.
Black and brown.
Okay.
So like
okay.
you have people that's my color.
Yo,
Right.
hold
You
up.
know.
Pause button. Do you have their names so we can?
Do I have their names?
Yeah, so we can find these people.
Yeah,
beat 'em up
I
out
know.
of
I
elementary.
have great memory.
Oh, geez.
We can't dump someone on the pod.
After. But
You
yeah,
know who you
just
are. We're
like
coming for
those
you.
Yeah.
I had good and bad times, but yeah, I just didn't like going to school. I just got tired of being picked on.
You went.
and-
You went to the same one the whole way through.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
From-
man.
so
Surely you
first when
had
I went
some
to-
friends, right?
I
Or I
did.
guess you have friends. That doesn't. Friends don't negate the bullies specifically.
Yeah.
I don't know because
Dude,
like
New York kids have to be so mean too.
yo, they're
Fuck,
so
I can only
mean.
imagine.
They're so mean, but also I don't know. Like, it was fun times. Like I had somebody pee in my shoe one time.
Again, you earlier
what?
you said pee in your shoe.
Wait, repeat that again.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, wait, what? Was it?
Wait,
Hold on.
repeat it again.
But so
You're
I was
saying that like it's a habit.
Wait, hold on. I didn't even hear what you said. You said a kid peed in your shoe.
peed on my shoe.
Oh,
Are you
on
serious?
your shoe.
Okay. Inside.
On
But, I mean,
is
that's
like
not
No, but like
slightly more.
No, like I was in the
Physically
I don't
understandable.
know. I don't want to drop his name, but
Drop his ass.
oh, it was.
I didn't hear.
Oh god.
Listeners, you and I are one and the same. I didn't hear.
So I'm in the bathroom, and he has his like for some reason he has his like cheeks out.
Oh, he's like a pants down all the way
He's a
kid.
pants
Oh,
all the way
no.
kid.
Girls' bathroom, this wasn't
Yeah,
happening.
this-
but you know, you stand up in a
In the
urinal to
stall.
pee.
You stand up in the
Some
urinal,
MFs
yeah.
will drop them all the way.
I
all
felt like
the
why
way
do
down.
guys do more like AO stuff than like girls?
I don't know. Half humor, half like
half serious.
being oblivious.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
And
felt
being
like they were
serious.
half serious.
So wait, he just,
They're just
whizzed
gonna-
on your shoe?
Yeah, so what happened was like for some reason he just did not like me, and
Oh,
like
so this was a
wow.
malicious act.
yeah, so like he like I had to use the restroom, so I had to pull up to the stall next to him, and I was like, oh my gosh, not again.
He pissed on your shoe twice.
No, I just saw his like butt cheeks twice.
Oh.
like I was tired of going to the restroom, and every time like it would be like a rumor around the class. It would be like, don't go. When you used to be all like, why? It would be like, don't
What's
go.
His name? What's his first name? I can tell you if I could see it or not. What's his first name?
His name was Yusuf.
Wow.
Yusuf?
Yeah, Yusuf.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that.
He was a pretty cool kid otherwise, but it was just like for some reason he just dropped the cheeks.
I can expect it. I can expect it.
Did he like
Yusuf.
greet you every time you walked in?
Oh
with
my
his butt
God,
out,
it was like-
hey, Christian.
Or he was just known as the kid that
He was just known as a kid, like you know, like you ever watched the Powerpuff Girls episode, and it was just like the kid that ate paste, like it was like,
that was his
sure.
shtick.
Fair enough.
Yo,
His shtick.
you recall when they used to flip their eyelids upside down?
Oh my God,
Inside
yeah.
out?
Oh
Yo,
my God.
I used to try to do that. I cannot.
You can never do it?
No,
Yeah,
there
that's
was this guy who used to
Lucas,
walk
could
around
you
with
do
both
it?
of them up and
I
just.
could. It was always uncomfortable, so I refrained.
Yeah, that seemed like it'd be.
what
But
about
wait,
you,
yeah.
Trent?
So Trent, yeah.
So what was it?
We were in
the
Austin,
first
Texas.
yeah, I was in Austin. The first thing I think of with elementary. Keep in mind, y'all, I went to like 9 different schools.
Oh, wow.
That's so
yeah, we moved around a lot. But the first thing I think of is 4th grade when I hear elementary school. That's where I don't know. That's where it kind of picked up for me, and that's where I met like one of my best friends. We've been tough since then.
David?
Like one of my David. I've been knowing him for the longest, but a lot happened in 4th grade. Like
That was a pivotal year for me as well. I
it was
really
like
that.
the year
Or
right before you moved into middle school.
Really? Wait, you went to middle school starting 5th grade?
Yeah, middle
Oh
school.
wow!
Middle
See, that
school,
always
yeah.
tripped me out too.
Yeah.
Because for me it was 6.
Wait.
Oh, what?
No,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
It
no.
was,
That was
thought
when
it
I
was
started middle
6,
school.
7, 8. My bad. It was the year before. My bad.
Okay,
No, it
yeah,
was-
so-
so 5th was the last. But
So in the
Did
north, they kind of like for my school, 5th grade was middle school, but like when I go to Florida,
That's crazy.
6th, 7th, 8th is a whole different school. They get out at later times, like it's weird. A lot of times here, like you have elementary and middle school intersect. Like you just go to the same school, it's just maybe a different building. Like you have the annex building and then you have the main building.
it was.
Yeah, that's
And what?
different.
Well, I'm also curious to
What's
know
up?
for
What's up?
4th grade was that like where you found like your interests and stuff too?
Yeah.
Because you start to like develop into like a real human being.
That's where you
Yeah.
started.
And
to
your
notice
influences are very important.
The
So did you and David like merge at some commonality?
It
or
was
what?
like technically it was like 3 of us. Like we were like the bestest friends in the world. It was me, David, and Sergio.
I haven't heard of Sergio. He must
Sergio,
be so
yeah,
fire.
because
He
I
slid
lost,
through the ranks or
I
what?
lost contact with Sergio. We're Facebook friends now, but
Okay.
I really didn't keep up with him like David did because, yeah, I don't know. It was always a weird situation because at one point I was closer to Sergio, and then he would have to do stuff with his family, so David and I would link up, and then it would just be us for the weekend, whatever. But yeah, we had like a little clique going on. We were
Absolutely.
we were self-proclaimed like the fastest kids in the school.
Ooh,
I was
that's a title.
fastest though.
Whoa.
I was like, I think the name. Oh, it's so silly. I think I was like Fast Flash or something like that. And
You
one
ran
of
track or something?
no, I didn't. I was actually.
This is
I was
just-
actually not like an athletic kid. I was into comic books and shit.
Oh,
But,
wow.
Yeah. But yeah, one of them was Supersonic, and another one was Roadrunner or something like that.
Wait, these are
Supersonic?
different. These
Yeah,
names
like
are
He was so
different
fast, he had
names.
multiple
Yeah.
nicknames.
Oh wait, so you had
I was just the Fast Flash, but it was funny though because I had this weird thing where I could like in a foot race, like head on, I could beat you, but if I was chasing you like for tag, I couldn't catch you for some reason. Like, it was weird. There was something weird in my brain, like I couldn't.
It got to you?
Yeah, it was weird, but I mean, that was a year. Miss Kreidler was my teacher.
It's interesting how we all remember these names, just like no
Yeah.
problem.
That just shows the impact of
Yeah,
a
the
teacher.
impact of them too.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, most deaf. Like she was so dope. Like I wrote a story and she let me read it in front. Well, no, I think we were writing stories for the class, but I read in front of the class and she really encouraged that. I was like, we throw back to another episode. I was really obsessed with like tornadoes.
Yeah.
And I had bought the VHS tape and then she let me show that to the class.
She
Like,
let
it
you
was-
show that to the class? That's so-
She
See,
was so dope. though.
like-
Like she encouraged it because it was, learning and everything.
It's crazy how old these teachers were, probably too. Like
Yeah.
younger, at least than I
She was
am
probably
now.
like
They're my age.
20 something.
yeah.
I
And
was like, oh, Miss Kreidler, she's so old.
seriously,
But,
yeah.
yeah.
That perspective as a kid.
But nah, fourth grade was
what hobbies
crazy.
would y'all say y'all or like interests actually resonated with you starting in elementary school? Like, I mean, for me, I definitely wasn't like designing clothes or skating. But I wasn't a baby prodigy. But
Were you skateboarding back then?
nah, not until 7th grade. I can remember it distinctly.
Wow, we gotta have to have a skateboarding episode. I want to hear
That'd
the
be
lore.
sick. But man, I don't even know if I can answer my own question. Maybe like I was really into like comics. No, I can't say comics. I was into like drawing, card games. Yeah, none of that really like translated to my adult life. But what about y'all? I can't even say music or movies or nothing.
Depends.
I think I was just like a
Just a kid.
Just
You were
NPC?
existing.
Yeah, pretty much. You said what?
just an
NPC?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like loading
Just
up
input
consciousness.
data.
I just liked like cartoons but yeah, none of that. Actually, to follow into the middle school EP, yeah, I think that's really where I like locked into having kind of like an identity ultimately.
That's awesome.
But what about y'all? What about y'all? I don't know if anything was stuck with y'all.
First
Comics, right? Well,
Yeah, I was definitely into comic books. Also wrestling. I love wrestling.
You
My
still like
love-
wrestling?
I've never really even heard you mention wrestling.
I thought I did one time.
Yeah, a couple
yeah,
times.
Nature Good and Evil.
But like now,
Yeah,
you
I
still
did.
watch or like keep up with it?
I used to, yeah, back then I used to keep up with it. I
Okay.
don't
Wow.
really now.
Okay.
My leading into the middle school, my love for drawing really didn't start until middle school. Like that's how that started.
Yeah.
But comic books, I used to live in my head, like imagination for sure. I was just always.
Were you-
If I wasn't sitting in front of the TV, I was like running back and forth. Like that's the kid I was.
What about music? Did you
I
appreciate
didn't-
like
I didn't
hip-hop
appreciate
or-
music till middle school.
Yeah,
Oh,
I feel,
really?
I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like music hits you like between that period of middle school and high school a lot. Like in between, like
Certainly,
you may
yeah.
have like because I feel like at that time when you're in elementary school, like you're getting driven. If you have a car, you're getting driven places, so you don't have the aux. you're not gonna have the elementary school kid the aux, and like if they do, they'll put like wheels on the bus. Like they won't.
You know, I can say one thing is I started cussing in 4th grade. I can confirm that.
Wow.
That
really?
translated. Shout out Chan Park, the greatest homie even to this day.
Shouts out to
Touchdown in Korea.
Oh,
in
wait,
4th
yeah,
grade.
Did he?
Recently got the boot. He's back in Korea now.
damn.
Shout out
Oh,
Chan,
man.
dude.
Shouts
Oh my
out to
gosh,
Chan.
we love
Yeah,
Chan
shout out
Park.
Chan.
Hopefully this episode reaches you.
Hopefully, but anyways, he taught me to cuss, which he
That must
will.
have been fire.
He will take.
How did that happen? Please.
He
give us
will
the-
take credit for that too, which is sick because we would always run that back. But I don't know. He just knew cuss words, and I mean a little bit like a little bit to like touch on Chan too. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he came to the United States from South Korea, and when we were in 2nd grade, and he actually whenever he moved here. Whenever they like plopped him in Valley Ridge Elementary, Louisville, Texas, where I went, I don't know what anybody could do with that information, but where we went there,
Look at the
whenever
grades.
he arrived in the United States, touchdown in public school, they just thought he was quiet. He didn't speak a lick of English. Like,
Wow.
yeah, but thankfully there was another Korean kid there. And I guess like thinking about it, putting those years together, that was in 2nd grade. I met him in 4th grade, and he was fully.
That's quick. That's a quick.
Yeah, it really
to-
and like, dude, kids are so quick with that too. It's really remarkable. But anyways, yeah, he got around to cussing. I remember he could like cuss. Dude, he could
Second
cuss.
grade, no.
He could cut forth. He could cuss in front of his parents, like because they didn't know, and that was just
Wait,
like,
what?
Oh yeah.
because yeah. So that was
Was
my
he
gosh.
up watching late night TV? Is that where he learned it from?
1,000%. I mean, we're talking earlier 2000s, so you're getting everything from the TV.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
HBO.
And I can only imagine how different
Adult
that
Swim.
would be for real. That like compared to his South Korean television or whatever was going up. But yeah, that's one thing I took from elementary school into my adult life.
Nice habits. What about
Did
you?
y'all?
Sage? Yeah.
I remember this movie specifically. It was like a Martin Luther King movie, and like
Whoa.
that movie was so impactful. I don't know why. I remember them bringing the TV into the room,
Wheeling that thing in.
wheeling that thing in. It was
Wheeling
like
that
it was like half animated,
Yeah,
Dude, I think I remember that.
You know that
I
one?
forgot
Yeah,
about
I don't even know the name of the movie, but it was just like I remember this one part. They were like, "Why can't we play it together?" He was like, "Cause he's white."
Wait, they said, why can't you play it?
And that was just like, as a little kid, you're like, "What?" You're like, I don't get that. But it was so impactful because like, I guess that in some way like contributed to like me just like. Like I read the book Cast by Isabel Wilkerson.
Cast?
Yeah, like, but
I don't know. What is that book?
so it talks about like the racial composition of like American and stuff. And I was
And
just
how
like,
old were you, Christian?
I was in
Right.
second grade. I was in second grade, but I read that.
Second grade?
No, I did that.
I was gonna
Cast
say,
came
did you
out
write
like
your dissertation?
no.
He got it. That's how he got into
You were, like,
New York
born
City's
political.
most.
Yeah, I guess that was like the start of my political mind, but who knows? But like, but I'm gonna leave that story thread like to another episode. But I remember fourth grade. Fourth grade was interesting because it was like the one grade I kind of was slacking, but it was also the grade where I was still going through changes. Like fourth and fifth grade were kind of like I was like still trying to figure stuff out. So like I wasn't like a developed sage. Like I still did all my stuff, and I still had like my parents were like, do all that work. But I remember one time I was like, my teacher was like, "Did you do your science project?" I was like, "Yeah, I did." But I definitely did not. During that time in elementary school, it was really cool because, like I said, we had the annex building and we had the main building. So it was like the allure of being in the new school as opposed to like the Greek Orthodox school was like, hey, I get to be in this annex building, and then you get to be like an adult in the main building. And it was like they had basketball courts. Yeah, and it was like it was just like so cool.
Threshold you pass,
right? And it was like something to look forward to. And then in elementary school, it was just a lot of fun, like cool little things. I wanted to give a shout out to this substitute teacher. Well, she was the main teacher, but I think she passed the like. I think she fulfilled like her years of like retirement, but she just did it for the love of it. So she would come in. Her name was Miss Pearl. And whenever you had,
that's my middle name.
Oh,
Ew, no, don't do that.
Whoa.
Whenever I tell that to people, they're like, "Oh, that's such an old name." I'm just like, it is.
Nah, I think that's sick.
That's fine.
That's
I know a Pearl.
You know,
I do. I do.
Wow.
In fact, yeah. She's sick.
That's a hero than SpongeBob.
That too.
He
I think of Steven Universe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, they're all gems.
What were y'all watching at that time? Speaking of,
A lot of Cartoon Network.
really?
A lot of Cartoon Network. A lot of Nickelodeon. I was a SpongeBob kid, so I used to just watch that every day.
It's crazy that came out in 1999.
Yeah.
Were you catching any of the SpongeBob wave, Trent?
No, 99. I was middle school, transitioning to high school. Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah.
What were you
I
consuming at that time? What was on
back
TV?
Back in elementary, Beavis and Butthead. That was like one of the-
Really?
Yeah.
Did
was
that
one of
form
my
any of your?
favorite-
I would
Yeah,
not
actually,
see you
it
watching.
did. Shit, what year was that? It may have been middle school. Beavis and Butthead was big, but I know I'm pretty sure it was middle school, maybe. But I know that had things in it that stuck with me, especially a love for like different forms of music.
Beavis and Butthead?
Yeah, because
they'd have
you
the
remember
cut.
they used to like watch all the whatever was happening. They would watch it and they would critique it. You know, they would just make fun.
Yeah,
of it.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so
I
that
remember
kind of
that.
exposed me to a lot of different music genres. So that, you know, whether that be elementary or middle school, I'll just call it elementary. But yeah, that definitely stuck with me.
Did you have any filter? Like, did your mom have any idea what you were watching and whatnot?
She did, but she was pretty relaxed.
Okay.
Her parenting style.
I know kids who couldn't
So-
watch SpongeBob and like Simpsons.
that
was
was a crazy
definitely
thing.
wiped off the
I
menu.
couldn't watch Family Guy.
Yeah.
My mom did not like me watching that.
Yeah.
She was
I
like,
mean,
"Get
same for
yourself
me.
out."
Same for me.
Simpsons. But no, not necessarily. My mom was pretty relaxed with raising
My
my
mo-
brother and myself.
My mom like thought that she was like blocking everything, but I'm like, oh no, like we're like, nah. You know, and like
You're one
I
of those
love my
kids.
mom. I have a wonderful relationship with my mother, but when I think back, yeah. But we were like at the dawn. I mean, that was like the PC era more so. You know, where like you have the family computer, so like yeah, my parents didn't know anything about like the internet
Yeah.
or
Oh,
like.
wow.
I guess it was like my mom didn't like me watching The Simpsons. But my dad and I would watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fire, though.
Pretty great television at that time.
Nah, The Simpsons was dope. I love The Simpsons.
You know, I did actually just revisit Spider-Man from 2002 as well.
Wow.
And
Oh,
it's
is that the-
still
was that the
good.
MTV
you know?
I think that's
What's that?
Is that the MTV
No, no,
one?
this is
Okay.
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey-
2002.
Tobey Maguire. No, no, no. The movie.
I know.
movie.
I thought you were talking about the show because
Oh, yeah.
after the original Sam Raimi movie come out, MTV had like an animated show.
Wow.
I vaguely
Like,
remember that.
2002. It wasn't too bad. It was like a continuation of the movie until the second movie came out. And it kinda
Oh,
just messed up the canon. But anyway.
it's a period
Yeah.
piece.
Yes.
Interesting. But yeah, I mean, I revisited that one. I was like, whoa, it's so crazy how differently they make movies too. Like some of those fight scenes. I mean, it sounds silly, but it's like it's really them in costumes, you know, going at it. But
Yeah,
now
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like so CGI and it flows so
CGI,
seamlessly that that like element of, and it looks kind of fake. You know what I mean? But like,
I like the campiness of what's the name of the director?
Sam Raimi.
Yeah, Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi did like
what
a
else
lot.
has he done?
Well, he also did the
He's
newest
done-
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, he also done Evil Dead. That's probably other than Spider-Man the most
new one,
famous
right?
property. No,
Evil
not the
Dead.
new one. He did the original.
The original.
Like, isn't that like
Oh,
78 or
original.
something?
no,
The first one maybe I want to say 80s. But
Okay.
yeah, they're really old.
Yeah, those are pretty highly coveted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
Horror
and
flicks.
oh my god, I'm gonna
He's
start
good at
talking about
campiness.
movies. But the second Evil Dead was pretty much a remake of the first Evil Dead, but with a little more comedy.
That's the
inserted
one with
in
the
it.
midget and the guy with the one arm. I'm thinking of the wrong thing.
Midget and one arm. Well,
That
It
was
was
Evil
a game
Dead?
too at one point.
you might
Resident
be in there
Evil?
because he at one point his arm
The
does
blue,
get.
the blue kept the blue.
Yeah, he has the
Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
and he has a chainsaw.
Mhm, the
for an
chainsaw.
arm. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
on the right
Whoa.
track, but yeah.
That sounds crazy.
It
I
is.
think
It's
I
really
saw the
cool.
new Evil Dead.
I didn't really
Which
like it that
one?
much.
The last one that just came out.
I think it was probably like 2012 or something.
Yeah, that
Oh,
one.
Oh,
thought
that
that
last
was-
one. There's
was-
a new
was
one.
it the
There's
new
one
one?
too.
There's a new
Yeah,
one.
that's one
So-
that came out like earlier this year.
Evil Dead.
I didn't really
That's
like it.
pretty.
I
That's
fell
pretty
asleep.
sick name, really.
I fell asleep.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's good falling asleep material at the end of the day.
Same with Insidious. No,
Movies
no.
aren't
Maybe
the
except
same
for the old
anymore.
one.
You know what's crazy though?
What's up?
I can't say that.
Say it. I'm an advocate of saying it.
Docs.
But no. Another
docs
thought. But
guy.
no, a friend and I, we went to see another movie. And we walked out of that movie to go see Evil Dead, which wasn't too much.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, funny stuff. But anyway, back to Elementary.
Yeah, no, that was a tangent.
Si-
But
Sam-
what was a movie that you seen at elementary school that you recall? Speaking of like the Dr.
Dude.
Martin Luther King one.
Same thing to not having like a personality. Like I was just watching stupid shit. Like I was watching. I remember literally. I can't think beyond Kangaroo Jack. Like if that. What else was I watching? I cannot think.
Is that the talking kangaroo?
Kangaroo Jack was a banger.
Yes.
Was Kevin Hart in that one?
No, Jack.
Kevin Hart didn't come out yet.
Or that was,
Yeah, he had yet to emerge.
Oh.
That's a
Kevin
great
Hart's been around for a
question.
while.
I want to say Jack Black, but it's not him.
Maybe.
Anthony Anderson, was that the comedian? In
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yep. That's right. But like again, beyond like that, I'm drawing blanks. It's just
What about you, Sage?
I just loved. I was a Disney kid. People may not know this, but like I watched almost every Disney movie. I still watch all the Disney movies. The only one I haven't seen is Elemental.
actually, yeah,
can
that's
see
so
that.
true. Except for that, like, except for that core, yeah, like all the entire Disney catalog, like up to the year 2000. I
Yeah.
had that, so I had something.
But Lilo
I
and
guess.
Stitch.
Yeah, that's your
That was
jam.
my that was my.
When
jam.
I went to when I got older, I was like like 8th grade, like almost like high school level. I went to Florida and they have not Hurricane Harbor, that's Six Flags. They had Typhoon Lagoon, and it's like the biggest wave pool like in the world, and it's like mad cool. Good day trip if you happen to be in Florida and you're going to the other parks. And you're like, well, I don't want to go to Mainline Park. Let me go to a water park. That's the one to go to because there's another one. But they had somebody in a Stitch costume. I kid you not. The like little elementary school kid in me was just like, oh my gosh! Yeah, I was just like, I ran up to the guy in the suit. He was like far. I broke away from my camp I was in a summer camp. I broke away from my camp and just like gave the dude the biggest hug, and I was like, so yeah.
What's he doing at a water park in a full body suit?
It was just
That
like a
sounds
Stitch
crazy,
costume, like
right?
you know how like in Disney World they just kind of like walk around like
But
the
at
characters.
the water environment?
Yeah, because I guess because they're in Hawaii in the original movie, so he's just like in the Stitch costume.
Okay.
So it was like, but I didn't see Lilo, but like yeah, and also shout out 454 for Stitch and Lilo. That song is fire. Anyways, yeah, yes, I love 454.
What about you,
Amalia?
What movies come to mind?
I grew up watching Marvel. Same thing. My dad's a huge Marvel and anime fan. So and DC.
In elementary.
Huh?
In elementary school.
Yeah, like I was watching.
Okay.
Yeah, I
okay.
was.
Which
Yeah.
which Marvel movies?
Spider-Man's, the Iron Man's, all that. Didn't Iron Man come out like 2008?
Yeah.
The first one,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Earlier
Y'all are
than
making
that,
me feel
right?
old.
yeah, that's when he had. That's when they had.
That's why he's like crushing. He's like, he saw
Yeah.
Marvel movies
That's
in
when-
elementary.
That's when they had Terrence Howard, and
Yeah.
then he broke. He felt like he wasn't getting paid enough because he, you know.
Yeah, they got
so they
this whole
changed him
thing.
and put Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
that was that was a time.
They
But I,
won't-
wa-
another black actor.
but,
They
but
won't
yeah,
know.
They won't know that.
I was watching all of those.
Wait, who was it that got stiffed? Anthony or
Terrence Howard.
Anthony,
Howard.
oh,
Oh.
Terrence Howard. Yeah, yeah.
No,
Okay,
Anthony
Terrence
Mackie.
Howard.
I think
he was in Iron Man?
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah,
was
the
too
first
far.
one.
He was the original.
He was,
Rhodey.
yeah. And then he felt he wasn't getting paid enough. And look at
Yeah.
them now. They get paid freaking
Wow.
bread.
Did
Yeah.
Don Cheadle, he took it all the way or
Yes.
what?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cheadle
he's
from
he's
there
still
on.
Replaced
he's
him
still
and
Iron
put it on.
Machine.
Oh, I've never literally even seen an Iron
Oh,
Man
you
movie.
got.
Oh,
But that's
man.
like one of the best, right?
You gotta watch it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
A true cornerstone of the Marvel
Yeah,
universe.
that was the
Yo,
one that kicked off
great.
the universe.
Yeah, surprisingly, because in the comics he's not that main of a character.
No, that's. I think we talked
That's
about
it.
that last time, but yeah, like essentially in the 90s, Marvel was going broke, so they sold off the rights to their popular characters to stay afloat. So essentially, what they had to do was use the unpopular characters to get the movie studios going, and it
Wow.
was, it was successful. 'Cause
It was yeah.
Were you
Iron Man,
Were you into
Thor,
them
all
at the
those.
time, or were you just passively
Into what?
consuming
Like the
the Marvel?
Yeah, I was
catalog?
into. Yeah,
Okay.
like my dad is the reason why I'm so like into like stuff like that now, like superhero
That's,
movies, and like I watched the new Doctor Strange, the last one.
Yeah.
Didn't really like it.
Mm.
I did like the fighting parts where he was like fighting like his evil with the music notes. That was fire.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was
Yeah.
that,
That was
was
really
fire. But like I just felt like it was a drag in certain things, like Scarlet Witch. Like it was not to go too much into it, but yeah, I felt like it was a drag a little bit. And I was like, it could be a little better, but. Yeah, I grew up watching things like that, anime, like you name it. So, Rugrats was my shit. Like
Rugrats.
the Rugrats
Rugrats
movie,
fire.
like I cried when like the
Is that when they
brother.
got lost in Paris?
Oh yes! Oh my god! He didn't want to share the peanut butter with his brother. That makes me cry every time.
That's somewhere deep in my memory that
That's
I remember
oh my
that.
god! That's like the
You just hear all the microphones drop. The Rugrats are lost in Paris.
Like, let's go watch it
I
now.
do remember
Why
that.
are
I
we podcasting?
remember seeing that in theaters.
Oh, he saw it in theaters.
I did.
Wow.
Yeah. I do remember seeing that in theaters.
Oh. Oh yeah. Oh.
Time crunch is crunching.
Oh. Whoa.
Do we want to
yeah.
extend it? I was trying not to call attention
Yeah.
to
No.
it. Keep
No.
them
No.
talking.
We could.
Well,
Okay.
Let me go do that.
this is the first time
Let
we've
me go do
gone
that.
late.
Yeah.
This is the first time we've
going on?
recorded at night.
It is.
Oh, you guys
It
normally
is.
record in the daytime?
Yeah, we normally record mornings.
Yeah.
Oh
we're like
wow!
8
Yeah.
8 or 9.
But no, like the movies.
Morning is crazy.
But when I think about movies, I think about my first time ever sneaking into a movie.
Oh wow.
It was
a true
I
thrill.
I felt like a
Once again, it's
Like a
gonna
committed
age
crime.
me. So we bought tickets
For
to
real.
Lion King, and then we snuck inside and snuck to go see Street Fighter the movie. Yeah.
What year did 96?
That was 94.
94.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, you stop.
94.
You gotta be your. I'm not gonna put your age out there. Yeah, y'all
Nah.
are way older than me. Yeah.
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 That must
I
have
mean, no,
been.
I'm not ashamed of my age. I'm 37.
Okay, yeah, about my
I'll be-
sister's age.
I'll be 38 in like 2 weeks.
What?
Oh, happy
27?
birthday.
3 weeks, something like that. Yeah.
Virgo.
Libra.
Libra. Oh wow. God, air sign. Makes sense.
Does it?
Makes sense.
Bad news bear is my my phone.
Christian with
It didn't
the
charge.
my
perpetually
did
dead
not,
phone.
Yeah, it did not
Oh, wait.
charge in the actual thing. So
Not at all.
not at all.
Oh,
So I may have to sign into another device and extend the session.
that's fine.
I got
Take
you.
mine.
Next time I'll make sure.
I can't imagine the the Lion King theater experience.
You saw it in person, like in movies, in the theater.
I saw it in the theater, but like I said, we snuck to see the Street Fighter movie because it was rated R.
Whoa.
It's so weird in retrospect why that movie was like rated R.
There was some. I think there was some cussing in it. There might have been some death. And
No, Street Fighter.
Yo, kind of. There was some.
the reason, I mean, there was definitely death in the Lion King.
Was there any-
Oh,
oh
my
yeah.
gosh.
But
Don't
no,
remind
that
me.
was such a fun experience. I remember, I can't remember the name of the movie theater, but it was right next to this mini golf course because I remember it because I've never been there. I didn't know what mini golf was when I was that age, but there was like a big Peter Pan statue. And I think it's still there in Texas.
Wait,
Do you remember,
you're talking,
you remember that?
dude? That's on like not South Lamar, but that's on like Congress. Actually, yeah, like Congress and South
there was
Lamar.
a movie theater that was close
No
to
shit.
there. Yeah.
Wow.
I
Dude,
believe
yeah,
so.
that Peter Pan is
Yeah.
definitely in Austin. If you've ever been in Austin, Texas, then you've probably seen the Peter Pan.
Why is Peter Pan in Austin, Texas?
It was just like
mini
a
golf course.
and like it's on. He himself is there.
town square, and they just have Peter Pan in the center.
I just
And it's
imagine a
on-
big Peter Pan statue.
Yeah,
That literally is what it is. And
it's
it's like it's kind of funny too because that little putt course now sits on like some incredibly valuable property. And you know Austin is just getting hit, but
More
somehow
expensive.
this like it almost looks like it's like a paper mache. It's a
Yeah.
real old school. Anyway,
Yeah, it's old. If you're from Austin, you know what we talking about.
Facts.
Isn't it strange that what's it called? Well, I kind of wanted to speak upon the. This is a weird segue, but I wanted to speak upon the origins of elementary school real quick. So
You've got a little history
a
lesson.
little
My
bit of
guess
history.
is
So
it-
like at least in the
Greek
states,
it
from what I can remember, is that schooling was not really like delegated between like age groups. It was kind of like the whole kind of town gathered in like the school housing, because even childhood, our like conception of it is a relatively modern phenomenon, because like back in the day, like you had children like in factories and stuff working on stuff. So that was like a part of the industrialized society. And so then you kind of go forward, and then you have like kind of delineation between like age groups, and then you kind of have elementary school being a thing. And elementary school serves like really important in terms of kind of like the progress of like civil rights movements and everything. So you have like the Brown versus Board of Education, like that type of stuff like that. Those, even though like the delineation of like schooling and elementary school, and as we talk about like the school episodes, I'll try to spice a little bit more history in them in the future. But like just the progress of like just the different age groups and the different things that you tackle at different times, and how they kind of evolve given the era and everything. So like going to school in the 60s and everything was like a whole different phenomenon, and how that informs like the way that they do schooling now to like different schools, different schooling in the present. But back to the original, everybody kind of just gathered in townhouses, and then it soon became a thing that they had like private universities, and then you have like Harvard in like 1619 or something like that. And then they kind of had private universities, and then you had like maybe homeschooling and that. And then it was kind of like based on like class. And then you have like the public school, which comes, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it comes probably relatively like within the early-ish 1900s. I won't give an exact date, but like that type of thing going forward. But yeah, elementary school is a pretty new thing in general.
Do other countries like follow pretty similar? At least like modern day, do you know?
From my understanding, you have like different grades, but sometimes you may have, depending on like if somebody has like a village kind of education, they may just have like just one kind of centered classroom, and then they just use all their resources, and they kind of teach people based on the thing, on the they teach people based off of the timing of based off of their age and what material they can understand and the resources that they have available.
You know, I think that I was about to say like I don't remember anything like academically from elementary school, but thinking about it, also that's probably the most fundamentally important time, like learning just like addition, subtraction.
I think
reading,
it's
like,
you probably
you know,
don't think about it because most of it's basic stuff, but it's probably stuff, the things that you carry with you every day for the most part. You know,
I'm thinking like there was also just some BS in there, like just I feel like history, like in public school, is probably just pretty horrible. Well, I don't know about pretty horrible, but showing like the most like slight fraction of what really could be told. I would love to flip through one of my history books from elementary school and see what
bunch of kids writing in
BS.
there.
Oh my
Tell
gosh,
you?
yeah. What's
Yeah.
that?
The BS that they tell you.
Yeah, and just like how it's told from one perspective, and you just look at these American
Yeah.
gods.
It's kind of
Yeah.
it's headed
Is-
that way now too.
Like being told that Christopher Columbus discovered.
Yeah,
he didn't
that's like just
discover
like
a
the
damn
dawn of
thing.
Yeah.
civilization or something.
He was lost. Him thought he
Yeah.
was in India. Bless his heart.
And they never really talked about Malcolm X a lot either. They talked
yeah.
a lot more like for Martin Luther King Jr.
For sure.
because he
Never
was
talked
more
about-
softer and
Yeah,
had a
palatable.
gentle approach.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
That
that's
should
true,
be
yeah.
that should
I
be
feel
an
like they should've-
episode in terms of like the symbolism of a person versus the actual person in the scope of history, and how that kind of changes through time, and how people kind of can manipulate a symbol, and how a person can become a symbol in that sense and become like a tool.
Can you elaborate?
So like, let's say someone becomes like a figurehead for something.
Okay.
So like, let's say for Martin Luther King, it's because like of his peaceful protests and like advocating that you kind of see like people on the whole side of the political spectrum kind of using his name and kind of using false,
For everything.
in some regards like bad faith arguments, but using his name and mentioning just to kind of, I guess, sidebar some of the ill intent that may be covering
To give
some
it
of the
more influence.
like some of the ill intent that may be hiding behind some of like the policies that they'll do. They'll be like, oh, it's not this because maybe Martin Luther King would still be siding with this because it's not about color or race or creed. It's about having everyone kind of flowing together. So we got to do this in the name of equality. But when you look at the thing, it's actually doing everything counter to that mission.
I feel like they both like I said. I feel like they both had a way with it. I feel like they both had the same. How can I say? They wanted the same thing, but Malcolm X had a more aggressive approach, and he was more like he wasn't with the shits basically.
Yeah.
Like, and so I feel like they didn't like the way that he was putting it out there.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
Yeah.
even then, he wasn't necessarily like a violent person. He
He
just believed in defending
Yeah.
yourself, at whatever
yeah.
cost. In
And
your
Martin
life.
Luther King wanted
Unless-
everybody to get along, and they've been using that in school for forever.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay,
Yeah, you put me on his autobiography, Tron.
Yeah, well, that's definitely gonna be a big part of my high school one.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Spoilers,
Oh.
but most definitely.
I
What's
guess
up?
I guess we have to close the episode for a second because I can extend it. Well, they could just charge my card, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they'll charge it extra 10 minutes.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Well,
I can't really log on here.
are we rapping? Or we're
Well, how long is the episode so far?
It's an hour and 2 minutes.
it's only 10:32.
Yeah, I mean the studio closes at 11. Okay.
listeners, what should we do?
What should we do?
Call in now. Tell us what we should do.
Call it now.
Call it now. That'd be great. That'd be sick.
I think we can stay till 11.
Well,
It's only
all
20
right.
minutes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, stay till 11. See where it
Wait,
goes.
but don't we have to be out at 11?
that's fine. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
we'll
that's fine.
finish within the next 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, for the next 20 minutes. Yeah, we should be fine.
Christian looks unfine, yeah. Uncertain.
Uncertain.
Seems worried.
Well, it is my fault for coming late to the session, so consequences.
Yeah.
So, what other elementary school like tidbits and do's and I guess lasting memories and impacts? So, like I was mentioning Miss Pearl before, and
Miss Pro?
Miss Pearl.
Oh.
So, like she would be like the main substitute teacher that would kind of come in, and
Shout out to all the substitute teachers
Right.
out there. The unsung heroes.
Yo, that we gave a hard time because
yeah.
They're probably
Yeah.
like 22 or something. You know, like
Oh, but Miss Pearl was
Oh,
like,
I've used to have like the old substitutes come
Really?
in to be yeah.
yeah.
I've had, I probably could have thought somebody that was like 25 was like 46. Like I had no
Oh,
concept
you're
of
right,
it.
you're right, you're right. That could be too.
But sorry, Miss Pro, as I called her.
Yeah, so she'll come into class like we weren't allowed to take food from teachers, but she'll be like, "Hey, I have cookies and sugar cookies and stuff," and she'll just come in. We wouldn't really learn much. She'll be like, "You learn on your regular day. Your teacher took a day off. we're taking a day.
I
off.
mean, that was
Wow.
kind of the thing with substitutes. Like, if it was a substitute day, it was a free day. Like,
Yeah.
you normally
Yeah.
watched a movie.
All right.
Yeah.
And just
Now that
chill.
we're here, what are some antics that were going on in y'all's classrooms? We were definitely switching desks.
oh my goodness.
Oh yeah,
I'm
of
so-
course.
so-
Sitting with your best friend.
But if you think about it, that's like just a bad trade from Rip, because like then if they act stupid, then you're on the line, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm acting as or my name's Christian, I act a damn fool. Then
Oh man, I was a goody two.
Miss
I
Pearl
was like
comes back.
I was the goody two shoes. I was just like, well,
Not
not goody two
certainly you
shoes.
weren't giving substitute teachers a hard time, were you?
Not usually. I mean, most Miss Pro was like the one. Even the bad kids were just like, "Nah, you can't mess with Miss Pro." Like, you know how
She was off limits.
She was off limits, but every other substitute teacher, woo!
wow.
Oh man.
So what are some antics? What was going down?
Some
in-
antics. Wow, my school had a lot.
This is post Greek Orthodox.
Yeah, post Greek Orthodox. Wow, I have to sit for a second. We had so many.
If anybody else,
Well, I was gonna save this one for the middle school, but since you guys said sixth grade, middle school for you was sixth grade, and I really have no other stories for fifth grade. Oh,
we gotta knock on the door.